For this rational equation, we are also trying to solve for x. The first step is to, before you find the least common denominator, factor the binomial in the first fraction. Well, you probably recognize that the binomial is in the form of difference of two squares. So we can break it down as x plus 5 times x minus 5, which comes out to the common denominator. The next step is to multiply each part by the common denominator. So we'll just multiply each part by the common denominator. And I apologize if I run out of room. Multiply each part by the common denominator and see what can cancel out. In the first fraction, everything cancels, leaving you with just 11. The second part, the x plus 5's cancel out, leaving you with 4 times x minus 5. And the last fraction, the x minus 5's are gone, leaving us with 3 times x plus 5. At this point, distribute the 4 and 3, giving us 4x minus 20 equal to 3x plus 15. Before we can solve for x, combine your numbers on the left-hand side. So we have 4x minus 9 equal to 3x plus 15. At this stage, we can move the 3x to the left-hand side. Subtract 3x from both sides. Giving us x minus 9 equal to 15. Right, we need to add 9 to both sides. Giving us x equal 24. Since we are dealing with fractions, check your solution. So let's scroll back up here to the original problem. You're right, 24 would work. The only values of x that will make the denominator 0 are negative 5 and positive 5. So our solution is indeed 24. Again, it's very important if you have a binomial, special binomial, or just a regular trinomial, factor those items first before you can find the common denominator. Alright, let's look at the last problem. Last equation. Nothing needs to be factored. Right away, we know that the common denominator is x minus 3. Next step, multiply each part of your equation by x minus 3. and see what can cancel out. In the first fraction, the x minus 3's cancel out, leaving you with just x. Second fraction, the x minus 3's cancel out as well, leaving you with a 3. The last part, nothing cancels out, so just multiply that 9 times everything inside the parentheses, giving us 9x minus 27. Before we can solve for x, we need to combine our numbers on the right-hand side. So that would give us 9x minus 24. Right, we need to subtract 9x from both sides. So that would give us negative 8x equal to negative 24. You know the last step. We need to divide both sides by negative 8. Leaving us with x equal to 3. Now again, we need to check our answer. If we plug 3 into one of the fractions, into the denominator specifically, three minus 3 gives us 0 in the denominator. We cannot have that happening, so x equal to 3 cannot be our solution. Therefore, there is no solution. Or you can denote that symbolically by the empty set. Either answer would be acceptable. Again, it's very important to check your answer or answers to make sure they don't make the denominator equal to 0, like it did here. This concludes our discussion on solving rational equations.